Some very interesting stuff is happening with the Bitcoin miner reserve at the moment. We covered this a little bit last week, guys, but we're going to be going through in a bit more detail coming through on this video. As you can see here for the miner reserve, back in the end of June, we tested this area in terms of a level of support. And just quickly, guys, Bitcoin miner reserve essentially means how much the miners are selling off their Bitcoin. Okay, this is really affecting the price of Bitcoin. If we see this dump, then it basically means that Bitcoin is going to be following that pattern as well, because the miners are essentially selling. So why am I talking about this today? The reasoning is, guys, this level of support is down at 18379. As you can see, miner reserve 18379. Recently, last week on the 20th of November, we tested 18388. Now, yesterday, the miners had a little sell-off and they actually sold us down to 18387, breaking last week's level of support. So this is an inclination that we're going to be coming down further to test 18379. Okay, so this is very bearish for Bitcoin right now. Yes, we have seen a bit of a pump today, but because we've broken that low in terms of market structure, in terms of structuring for this chart, it is a bearish sign for Bitcoin, and it's likely to see basically a sell-off coming through for the miners reserve. So that basically means that Bitcoin will take a tumble very soon. We are due a pullback. This is absolutely expected. So let's get deep down and dirty into the charts and see what we can actually be expecting here today for Bitcoin. And guys, I want you to watch the video all the way to the end here, because I'm going to be showing you my next big long swing position. Well, it might be a short, it might be a long. My next big position that I'm going to be taking at the end of this video for Bitcoin. So let's just jump straight into Bitcoin dominance quickly, because Bitcoin dominance, yes, we have seen a dump in the Bitcoin dominance most recently, but we are seeing a micro uptrend in this ascending triangle chart pattern. What does this mean for Bitcoin dominance, guys? What does this mean for altcoins? What does this mean for cryptocurrency in general? Essentially, the higher this goes, the more dominant Bitcoin is over the altcoins. So this basically means that that the altcoins aren't going to be moving as much on their own if this gets higher. It is a bullish chart pattern, so the likelihood of this coming up is fairly likely here, guys. But the question that we're asking ourselves here is, how long is this going to last? How long are we going to be up in this area before we find resistance, okay? Because if we find resistance, this is where we can kind of time for when altcoins could be making a move of their own, okay, in terms of the altcoin market. So if we do see a pump to the upside and we do see this break around 53%, coming all the way up to around 53.5, this area is going to be you want to be looking at Bitcoin for the direction of your altcoins, right? That's the area that we want to be looking for if we are going to see this bullish move to the upside. When we do see a breakdown and we do see something along the lines of this, guys, this massive dump to the downside here, this is obviously very good for altcoins, and it shows that altcoins are going to be moving on their own, as we have seen since that massive Bitcoin pump recently, okay? When we did see the highs from this micro, or from this market actually get tapped, right? Talking CME, guys, back to CME chart. You can see here we do have a gap, CME gap coming through at around, it's actually bullish here, guys, because we haven't filled this gap yet. It is up at around 38,500. 38,300. So we do need to fill this gap fairly soon. If you are going to be looking at the CME chart, we could be seeing a nice little pump to the upside, and not breaking the high of the 39,365 on the CME, but you can see 38,000 is potentially on the cards. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that, because you know how we like to fill those CME gaps. Onto the short-term time frame here for Bitcoin. Yes, we've been looking at this upward sloping trend line for a while here, and we have been looking at this symmetrical triangle chart pattern. But unfortunately, guys, you can see we did have breakouts and we did see measure moves, but we didn't see any sort of completion, and it didn't really go our way in terms of this chart pattern. So what are we going to do now? We're actually going to get rid of this chart pattern, and we're going to be starting to draw in new ones, okay? Because not every chart pattern comes in, guys. Not every chart pattern comes in. So we need to basically be adjusting our chart to this. And guys, make sure you watch the video all the way to the end, because we do have a new trade coming through, a new really lucrative swing position that I want you guys to take note of, and hopefully do your own research and make some money there, of course, because you know why we're here. We're here to make money. And guys, I'm streaming Monday and Friday now, videos throughout the whole week as well on Bitcoin and altcoins. So make sure you drop a sub on the channel so you never miss one of my uploads. Now, as you can see, where we are for Bitcoin, You can see we were talking about this level of support coming through from this upward sloping trend line here. Now, there is a sign right now with this micro downtrend that we are seeing that we could potentially come down and test this level. The level that I'm talking about is 36.6. The more likely scenario that I would say is using this horizontal level of support here, because you can see that we have actually bounced from this area, not insanely aggressively, but we have seen a move to the upside from there, and that consisted of around 1.63% there for Bitcoin. So what I would sort of expect, if we are going to see momentum curl back over and this downtrend continue here, then I would expect to come and test this level of support. Okay, the level of support that I'm referring to is going to be something along the lines of this. Okay, it's going to be something along the lines of this, and that will probably line up pretty perfectly with this upward sloping trend line as well. Now, in terms of chart patterns, guys, in terms of making money, in terms of scalping these markets, let's see what we can do and see if we can get any sort of trade coming through. I mean, just looking at the chart, I would be drawing a trend line like that, and I would be drawing a trend line like that. So you can see the support, you can see the support, you can see the resistance, you can see the resistance. This is a falling parallel channel. Falling parallel channels, guys, they are actually bullish chart patterns, okay? They tend to usually break to the upside because it's a reversal chart pattern. So when this does happen, we could actually be making a little bit of money here if there is going to be a long position to profit from, okay? So it could be looking something along the lines of this. What I would be looking for here is you can see all major moving averages here, guys. Let's get rid of the price action channel for a second, so you guys can see these major moving averages here. You can see these major moving averages coming through, and you've got the 21, the 55, the 200 EMA, and the 200 SMA. You can see how coiled up these are, guys. They're very, very coiled up in this area. What do coiled up moving averages mean? You're probably asking me. You can see here moving averages that are far apart. Very good trend. It looks very, very strong. Coiled up moving averages, when they're really, really coiled up and there's not really that much movement between them, it usually means a big breakout in the price. As you can see there, coiled up moving averages, breakout in the price. Coiled up moving averages, breakout in the price, okay? So this is making sense now. We're looking for a potential breakout in the price, okay? So let's get down and let's have a look at where we could potentially break out. It is going to be this measure move, guys. The measure move could be something along the lines of this, around 1.54% to the upside for a scalp on Bitcoin on the hourly. That's sort of what I would be looking for here. Not going to go into too much detail for this today, but I'm just going to slap in some TPs and a potential entry point for you guys to be looking out for there. I would do your own research, though. This is NFA, not financial advice. What I would be looking for here, guys, is to break all major moving averages here in an upwards momentum, looking for that bullish move coming through like so, worth around 1.56%, looking pretty good. Let's get some volume weighted ATR bands in there and see what we're working with. Oh, what do you know? We've got a lovely, lovely gap here between the 5-minute and the 15-minute volume weighted ATR band. That's worth around 1%. So it's looking really, really good for a nice staggered trade up, looking something along the lines of that. Entry point at around 37.4, riding that wave up. First take profit 37.486. Second take profit, it would be 37.568, and then third take profit 37.677, and then all the way up to the completion of the measure move, or up to the volume weighted ATR band 15-minute. That's going to be the position. That's what I'm going to be looking for. It's going to be worth around 1% today. In terms of an SL on that stop loss, guys, we're probably going to be looking at something around, I want to be back down in this chart pattern, but I probably would do a 1-to-1 actually, because you can see the moving averages that we've got as just discussed, guys. You can see the moving averages that we've got here on the short-term time frame, the 5-minute volume weighted ATR band as well. So my stop loss would probably be somewhere in this lower side here at around 37,000. I probably would like to put it a little bit lower than 37,000 as well. So maybe we just do a 1-to-1 trade for this, guys. Obviously, I'm just spitballing here. I haven't really got down into this position just yet in terms of research. So I'm just literally doing this live. So let's have a look, see what we can do. So this is going to be the position, a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio, guys. And then the stop loss is going to be down at around 37,000. Personally, I probably would put it down at around 36,000. 36,925 or something along the lines of that, just because you can see we do have this lovely, lovely wick here to the lower side, and that's obviously a lovely level of support. And then again, guys, 37,000. You know how these whole numbers hold up, and then we've got a downward sloping support line as well if we can break to the upside. So that's the short position I would be looking for, sorry, the long position I would be looking for there for Bitcoin here on the short-term time frame. Let's move to the midterm, and we're nearly at the long-term time frame, guys, where you're going to see that next secret trade that I'm looking for here for Bitcoin. Now, let's look at Twitter quickly. Make sure you go to Twitter, guys, because I'm posting constant updates of the charts as well, of different positions as well. So make sure you go and follow the Twitter, Crypto Chester G. Link is in the description. Moving on to the midterm time frame. You guys know where I stand with the midterm, guys. We're due a pullback here. We've got volume-weighted ATR bands in terms of support. I'm looking to break the daily here. I'm looking to break the daily. Remember that. I'm looking to break the daily in terms of resistance and then get into a lovely, lovely short position, potentially worth around 7.55%. In reality, probably not, probably worth around 4.62% if we're being safe. And you can see the areas that we're looking for here. Volume-weighted ATR band, 4-hour volume-weighted ATR band daily, nice free fall zone in there. Obviously, there is take profits along the way. You've got 34.6, 34, 33.6 as well. So these are very, very key areas we need to be looking out for there. And this is, just to reiterate, guys, an upward sloping parallel channel. Upward sloping parallel channel is usually a reversal chart pattern. This means a measure move to the downside. This means a short position. This means a measure move looking something along the lines of this. We're going to drag that over here. We're going to be looking for this short position coming down to a price target of around 33,700 for Bitcoin if we are going to be getting in. Now, just to reiterate, guys, if this does dump down to 33.6, absolutely fine. We've still got market structure on the longer term time frame here. Let's look at market structure. The most recent confirmed higher low that we have seen for Bitcoin is actually down at 25,000. So in terms of bullish market structure, bullish market momentum, we're still bullish, even if we come down to this 32, 33 area, absolutely fine for Bitcoin. Okay, it's absolutely fine. We're still bullish, still in a nice bull run if we are down at those levels. Now, let's talk about Bitcoin here on the longer term time frame, the macro here on the daily, because this is something that this is the secret position, guys, that I'm looking for. Okay, this is using the volume weighted ATR band on the daily. This is, I mean, I'm not going to say it's a risk-free position, but it's bloody reliable. Okay, got how English do I want to sound? Bloody reliable. So as you can see, let's get rid of a lot of TA, right? Let's get rid of all the TA right here, and let's just look at the chart. Let's just look at the chart for a second, guys, and just roll with me and follow me here. So you can see this red line is the volume-weighted ATR band on the daily, okay? Volume-weighted ATR band on the daily. You can see we've cleared that in terms of a level of support. We haven't tested it yet. Very key point. We have not tested it yet, okay? So that's the volume-weighted ATR band on the daily. Now, let's jump back. Every time that we actually come up and we see a nice bit of momentum and an uptrend coming through, you can see we ride along this volume-weighted ATR band on the daily on the top of it, okay? We ride along the top of it. Remember that. We ride along the top of it, okay? Now, let's go back in history because that's obviously one example. Let's see when we've done this before. You can see we've crossed it. We've rode along the top of it, okay? Let's keep going. Let's see some more. Let's see some more examples here. We've crossed it. We've come up. We've basically tested it here, not quite, didn't get that sell order that we wanted to, but then we have hit it again and seen that propel, that bounce. Doesn't look very big here, guys. It doesn't look very big, but that's probably worth $51,000 all the way up to $57,000, nearly 10%, guys. That's nearly a 10% move there for Bitcoin just off the bounce on the daily, okay? So again, when we're riding above it, we're looking for that bounce. Here is... It's still good. You can see we're riding along it. We're bouncing along it. It's very, very clean, very, very nice. But what we're really looking for here is that big upwards momentum and then the nice little test, okay? So you've seen what we're looking for here. You've seen the diagrams of how this happens. You've seen the proof, okay? You can see the test here, bouncing straight up again. The support on this bad boy, even here, guys, you can see we tested it, we bounce up. Let's see percentages for that, 9,000 all the way up to around, yeah, another basically a 10% move again, guys. So let's flash back to where we are right now for Bitcoin, and let's talk about market structure, and let's talk about potentially where we're going to be seeing us bounce from this area, okay? Very important stuff, guys. This is very, very crucial for the next big move for Bitcoin, where we can make a serious amount of profit over the course of a few days or so. Now, let's get into this. You can see we've broken the volume-weighted ATR band to the upside, looking very, very bullish in this current uptrend. We are still waiting for this breakdown here for this swing position. But you can see this volume-weighted ATR band on the daily here is creeping up, guys. It's creeping up. Now, if we come down, this is where it gets very, very interesting and a bit technical. If we come down to this area, volume-weighted ATR band coming up, we test the volume-weighted ATR band. This is where the whales, okay, are going to be trapping everyone. This is the trap zone, essentially. This is where the whales are going to be trapping everyone, and this is where we're going to be profiting with the whales, okay? This is where we're going to be profiting with the whales and not falling for this trap and essentially longing Bitcoin, okay? This is the area. It doesn't look that great on the short-term time frame. We've just seen the data on the macro. We know that it's going to bounce on this area, whether it's going to be a 5% bounce, a 10% bounce, a bounce is a bounce, a long is a long, money is money. That's why we're here. So this is the area that we're looking for. Lovely, lovely, lovely bounce for Bitcoin. Going to be making a lovely position there and riding that up, okay? It's not going to be huge because we still need that correction. We still need that higher low. We still need that the initial big pullback. But what I'm going to be looking for here, guys, is going to be a long from this volume-weighted ATR band, and it's going to be mooning probably like, I would say 5%, guys. I would say a nice 5% move to the upside is probably expected here. And then we can be looking at the structure of this sort of sideways ranging chart pattern, something along the lines of that, right? That's sort of what I would be looking for here for Bitcoin. And that is the secret position I did want to tell you guys about. Now, if you did want access to this volume-weighted ATR band indicator, then I can sort something out. I can get you that access, okay? It's not a problem. Just drop a comment on the video, let me know that you want access, and then go to the link in the description, join the Telegram group. We have a group called Crypto Chester Community. Join the Telegram group, and then message in the Telegram group saying, I want access to this volume-weighted ATR band indicator, and I'll give you access for a couple of weeks or so, just so you can get this position. Or do your own research, do your own backtest research on this indicator itself. Absolutely free, no problem. Go do that, and you will get access, and you basically can trade this position with me. Great stuff. Moving on to altcoins, guys. Let's look at crypto bubbles here. You can see Lunacy is up around 6.4%. That has been doing wonders yesterday. Absolutely amazing stuff. If you guys were following the Twitter, we were looking for the perfect volume-weighted ATR band candle body close here. Didn't quite get that, unfortunately, so we didn't get into a short position for Luna because it already dumped. So unfortunately we didn't get that. But if you guys do want to see more updates, make sure you go to the Twitter, follow the handle there at CryptoChesterG. Moving on to the Fear and Greed Index, 68 today, guys. Pretty greedy. Whales might manipulate the chart. Just be aware, people are still getting into positions. And just back to crypto bubbles quickly. Overall, very, very bearish today, guys, on the pullback. Absolutely fine. Not too bad, but just be aware that the Bitcoin is looking slightly bearish, okay? It's looking slightly bearish right now, so we need to be essentially aware for that, unless we see that short-term break to the upside, okay? Moving on to, I mean, that's going to be it, guys. I think that's going to be it for the video. I did just want to touch briefly on BNB and what I'm looking for here, because BNB is obviously, it's in the toilet after CZ has left. We did cover a bit of news on that recently. And what can we expect here? What I sort of would be looking for here is these volume-weighted ATR bands, guys, they're coiling up. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit so you guys can see. We've got the 30-minute, we've got the 60-minute, we've got the 4-hour. These guys are basically coiling up to this area. Okay, what does that mean, guys? That means a level of support is being formed. It's being formed, and it's being formed at around $219. We have seen a lot of bearish momentum for BNB. We're probably going to see a buyback when the market has stabilized a bit. Now they've got a new CEO in. And a lot of stuff has been happening, but the level of support in terms of a bounce point for a potential long position is looking good. We've got a 5% move to the upside last time we bounced on this area. Now we've got obviously the volume-weighted ATR bands as another level of support as well. This is obviously going to mean probably a nice, I probably would say a 3 or 4% move, maybe up to the price action channel as this does come down. So that's what I would be looking for BNB there. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section, because that's what I would be thinking for BNB. And I'm interested to see what you guys are thinking as well. But yeah, that's going to be it from me, guys. Thank you ever so much for watching. Make sure you look out for these positions. Make sure you go and follow the Twitter. I will be posting updates throughout the day on my positions and stuff like that. So yeah, make sure you go and do that. But for now, I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, totally messed that up. I'll see you tomorrow. But for now, it's going to be peace out and goodbye from me, Crypto Chester.